Hello and welcome to episode 48 of the MisanthroPod. I'm Snipe, and as always, I'm joined by Wib. Say hello.
Hello there.
And I'm also joined by Drummer Bum. Say hello.
Hello.
Hello. Getting all Mrs. Doubtfire on my butt. Fantastic. How are you lovely gentlemen today?
I'm doing okay. How are you, Matt?
I'm well. And Snipe?
I'm alive.
Good.
I'm actually doing fine. I'm actually doing quite a lot better. I'm more positive. I've eaten fruit in the last 48 hours. I'm doing really well.
You're basically like a third of a functional adult.
I
right
know.
Now,
I'm really getting there, guys, and I'm really proud of myself.
It's a lot better than I've managed in years. So,
when was the last time you ate fruit? It was one of those apple slices I had as a snack, wasn't it? Like 3 days ago.
I don't know, does the yogurt count as a fruit?
No!
Did the yogurt have fruit in it, or are you just claiming that yogurt is a fruit?
No, it was a Rolo fucking yogurt.
That does not
How
count.
are you even alive?
I don't know.
I think I don't do too bad on veg, but my entire fruit intake is fruit juice. I'm so bad
dude,
at,
that's so
solid
acidic.
fruits.
That makes my teeth ache.
Oh no, I love it. I can just I have to get home from a run or something and it's down in like a litre bottle of orange juice or something.
Oh god, that's too much for me because I'm quite dodgy with acid. So what I do is I get up in the morning and I'll eat like a bowl of Greek yogurt and like strawberries and blueberries, and then I'll go to the gym and then I'll come back and have like I don't know. I've been having a lot of French sticks lately, which I know like having that many carbs isn't fantastic for you, but it's just they're so filling and so much better than normal bread.
Everyone in France is healthy and they eat bread all the time, so...
Exactly, so I think it's just, it's good bread, so it's fine, and I'm not eating 800 kilos of it a day, so that's okay.
That's right. Hang on, I just need to add something to my D&D notes. Snipe, not okay with acid. Right, sort of, carry on.
Okay, I was gonna say digestionally, like to do with digestion.
Digestionally?
Yeah.
Is that a word?
Okay, Mr. Fruit Eater, yes, let's pick apart my problem, shall we? Go eat a fucking orange. Jesus Christ.
I don't like oranges very much.
Oh, fuck.
I like apples.
Well, I have apples.
And grapes.
I've left apples there on the side and you've been like, oh, what are these strange cricket balls?
If you like grapes, have you tried frozen grapes?
No.
In wine?
No, stick them in the freezer for a bit, and then they're just a bit... They're nice, but they're weird, but try it if you like grapes.
Are they crunchy?
They're sort of. Just try it, it's hard to explain.
I am intrigued by that. I might give that a go.
If I buy grapes, will you eat them?
If you put them in the freezer, certainly.
Okay, it has been... For the record, I want someone to write this down.
They have to be, red grapes.
I know you like red grapes.
Because I don't like green ones.
And seedless, obviously.
Obviously.
Would you like me to peel the skin off for you, sire?
Anyway, let's talk about some things that we've been up to that hopefully will involve video games, because I still haven't changed the description to say that this is anything other than video games.
Okay, that's on you.
Well, actually, okay, the description has always been a podcast about video games, except when it isn't.
Exactly.
But,
I think that covers all bases, really.
It's like a good 75% of the time.
To be fair, we're more tabletop gaming these days than anything else.
It's just because the D&D section takes up so much.
Yeah, but I like the D&D section.
Almost,
anyway,
yeah.
Drummer Butt, what have you been up to?
So, stick it on games then. Been carrying on with Fallout. I don't have much more to say, but I'm 44 hours in. I've just about got to the first city where you meant to, the first quest sends you.
Have you left the vault yet?
I have left the vault. I've done some side quests, but I have started on the main quest. You'll be glad to hear.
That's good. That's good. Well, I mean, it's like I'm just kind of concerned about your mental faculties and like your psychological endurance. So it's I'm concerned as a friend.
I imagine at this point you're so ludicrously over-leveled that everything is just laughable.
Possibly. I mean, I'm headshotting things in one shot mostly.
Jesus.
I've got a pretty powerful... Well, I've got lots of sniper rifles, but I haven't found a sniper rifle with a silencer attached yet, and because I'm not a high enough level to build my own suppressors, I found like a pipe pistol, like a revolver pistol, that had a suppressor on it, and then I basically took the entire gun apart and remade it into a sniper rifle, but just because I left the suppressor there, I was allowed to keep it.
Good.
So I've got like a pipe revolver, but with like a marksman stock and a long barrel and a like ridiculous zoom lens and things.
It's like, you know what you have? You have, at the end of Jack Nicholson and Michael Keaton, like Batman, where he pulls the revolver that's got like a 5-foot barrel on out of his trousers. That's literally what you have, but with a scope about that long as well.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's fucking nuts, and I love it.
They won't let me take the suppressor off that and put it onto a real sniper, so I've just got this weird bodge, but it's headshotting most things, including super mutants in like one shot, which is quite nice. When I'm like, because I've got various ninja stealth perks as well.
Nice.
So yeah, it's not particularly difficult, but it's good fun. So that's all.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. As long as you're enjoying it, like.
But yeah, I don't actually have much to say about Fallout, to be honest. Yeah, I'll see. I'll probably give it a bit of a review or a bit of a comment when I finish it. So in a couple of years, maybe. Yes. My game for the 2 weeks, in the interest of having something new, and so in the interest of keeping the podcast listeners up to date with the most modern of games and the most niche of games that no one's heard of or ever spoken about. I've been playing Stanley Parable.
The what? Sorry, you're gonna have to explain that to me.
It's a game. It's called Stanley, as in the name, as in the comic. The comic writer Stanley.
Okay,
so I've got to write this down. I've got
okay, Stanley Palpable. Okay, got
Stanley
that.
is palpable. Okay,
yeah,
cool.
got it. Got it.
Which is why
got a pen.
Stanley is
just gonna write that
palpating.
down.
Yeah. Okay, that wasn't even remotely funny, but that's fine. That's the MisanthroPod for you. So have you been finding the Stanley Parable? Because we played it and it's pretty fucking great.
I fucking love it.
It's great fun, isn't it? I basically just spent an afternoon on it, and I went through and played it. So I guess everyone knows what it is. Should we even bother saying what it is?
I really don't feel comfortable spoiling it, even though it has been out for so fucking long.
The Stanley Parable is one of the few games that I don't really care how long it's been out. I don't want to spoil anything about it because it's all about messing with your expectations.
Yeah.
So if you're even vaguely interested, just go play it. You will not regret it. It's fantastic.
Yeah,
I think a great sense of humour there.
I spent like an afternoon on it, and I basically did all that there is to do, I think.
Good. I was going to ask you about that.
So I messed about with it for a few hours myself, and just had a bit of an explore, and did most things that I thought you could do. And then I did have a quick check online, I had a quick check online just to see if there was any other endings and options. And I was like, okay, I wonder how. I sort of tried not to look at how you did them. I just had to sort of give myself a pointer so I could do it all. But I'm fairly sure I've seen everything there is to see now, and it took like an afternoon. Yeah. So if you haven't played it, really go and do it, because then we can talk about it.
Yeah. Come on, everyone who could ever potentially listen to this, get your fucking asses into gear.
Once every human has played the Stanley Parable, we may finally talk about it at length.
And only then will we talk about it at length.
I'm actually, now you said that, I'm kind of tempted to go back and play it again myself, because it's been long enough that I've forgotten a lot of the individual jokes and things, because it is so well written.
It is really well written.
Some of the things just go far too far, but in a good way.
Yeah.
You're just like, okay, right. Oh, we're still going. Okay, we're still going with this. Okay, fine.
It's fucking magical.
It's that thing when you take a joke and it goes on for so long and it stops being funny, and then it starts getting funny again, and then it stops being funny, and then it slowly starts getting funnier and funnier again.
Yeah.
And it's
the rolling hills approach to comedy.
And every time they stop a joke, it's exactly on a peak of where it's funniest.
Yes,
exactly.
They do it so well somehow.
It's just it's so well done. Just go play it, goddammit, we'll wait.
We're not gonna wait.
Okay, we're not gonna wait. Sorry, I lied to you.
But yeah, sorry, I guess there's not really much to say without giving huge spoilers.
No, it wasn't probably not the best choice for podcast games. I need some suggestions, actually. If people can send me suggestions of relatively cheap, because and short games that I could quickly play to then talk about on the podcast. Because I don't really want to spend much money, because I do have quite a big backlog of games that I have, but a lot of them are Fallout type, longer games that I don't want to have many of those on the go at once while I've got Fallout. But I do want something vaguely interesting to talk about on the podcast.
Crypt of the Necrodance is really fun. That's a good play for half an hour or whatever.
And then realise you're bad at it.
And realise that your hand's cramped up so bad you can't play it for longer than half an hour.
Which
it's in a good way. It's where you it's like a dungeon crawler, but you've got to move in time with the level music.
I was about to say, is it the rhythm hack and slash thing?
It's the rhythm roguelike.
Yeah, okay.
It's really good.
It is really. It's one of those. There's
fucking hard, but it's really good.
There's this like core bunch of roguelike games that I wish I was good at. And I would love to get like super deep into like that and Enter the Gungeon, things like that.
Enter the Gungeon, I just could not get on with at all. Like, I can tell there's a good system there. I just can't even remotely wrap my head around it.
Yeah, like, because I think the thing is when I do get into a roguelike, I tend to get in deep. Like The Binding of Isaac is one of
that consumed your fucking life.
That is God. Yeah.
Yes,
I think I racked up something like 600 hours playing that.
You should play it to 666 and then just stop like there, and then like then Ed McMillan will come to your house and like spit in your mouth personally.
Oh, do you think he will?
Yeah.
Oh.
I've emailed him about this. I wanted it to be a surprise.
Oh. Thank you. You're a wonderful wife.
I know. That was the politest laughter. I went like,
I don't think anyone wants to be listening to this.
Okay, you know what? Checks out. What else have you been up to, you fucking weirdo?
That's it for video games, I'm afraid. Quick mention of a couple of films we've watched in the last couple of weeks. First off, on Netflix, we watched, and it is now 10 years old, Role Models.
Role Models?
Have you seen Role Models?
That one. No.
I watched it's a, it's got, what's the, I can't remember what the actor's name is. Stifler from American Pie. Sean...
William Scott.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, who's actually... He can be a good actor, because Goon, he's in an ice hockey film called Goon.
Yeah.
Which isn't a bag of wine, before you say
Okay.
anything.
No, literally, anytime someone says Goon, I think,
yeah.
That's funny, because I always think something awful forums.
Okay. I think mine's better.
But yeah, Goon, and I haven't seen the sequel yet, which is out, but the first Goon he's brilliant in. So he actually can be a good actor, but quite often he just acts like the same character.
Yeah, well.
And it's got him and then Ant-Man, Paul Rudd.
Aye.
Okay.
And then the guy who played the baddie kid in Kick-Ass, Christopher Mintz-Platz or whatever his
Christopher Mintz-Platz.
Yeah.
He was killed by Voss on the island. Yes, I remember him.
Yeah, him and another kid. And basically the two grown-ups end up doing something. They should be sent to jail, but they get community service and they have to go to like a charity and hang out with kids. But anyway, long and the short of it is that one of the kids is really into LARPing.
Oh.
And like, so I watched it in 2008 when it first came out, back at uni, and that was pre-D&D games, and I didn't know really anything about LARPing, and I still haven't done it now, but I'd like to give it a try at some point.
I know for a fact that Ash and Sarah have been jonesing for a bit of a LARP, so I think it's just a matter of time before we LARP.
But I didn't really know anything about it at the time.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, it'd be interesting to go back and watch it now. Now I know more about it, and especially after have you watched the YouTube series LARP?
No.
It's on the Geek and Sundry channel, so the one that they did the Guild, and they do tabletop and Critical Role now. But they did a series called LARP. I think it's LARP. I think it's just called LARP. But it's like there's like two series of it, and it's just about a group of mates who do like just a LARPing within themselves. It's not like some of the like big campaign or whatever. It's just them as a group. of friends.
It's just them.
But yeah, it's a really good series actually. And from that, and from watching other videos about people talking about LARPing they've done, I was like, okay, I know a bit more about this, how this works now. I wonder how this sort of, American Pie, super badass type film deals with it. And thinking, oh, it's going to be really awful because it's just going to be like taking the piss out of people. They actually do it really well.
Oh, no, it's not just, look at all these fucking nerds hanging out in the woods like twats.
No, exactly. I mean, their first reaction to it is a little bit like that, but the whole point of the film basically is that the grown-ups actually get quite into it, and they're like, okay, this is what this kid likes doing. It's what he enjoys, so cool, let's go with it. And they go along with it, and they end up enjoying it. And it's like,
that's really cool.
Like,
That's actually pretty wholesome.
There is some cringeworthy bits in it. Like, it is a 10-year-old film, and there's a couple of
it's a bit...
bits where they'll say something. It's just like, ooh, that's you wouldn't say that in a film if it was made nowadays. That's a little bit insensitive to not towards the LARPing, but just in general to other. I can't, off the top of my head, I can't think of examples.
I can imagine.
You know, it's one of those sort of films. It's like, okay, there's a couple of bits, but it's not the best film for that, but it is the portrayal of like LARPing and stuff is actually quite good. And I was like, okay, cool.
I was actually talking to my therapist about LARPing the other day, and because he's not really into the whole D&D kind of scene, and he was like, so what's LARPing? I was like, oh, live action role playing. And I was like, so basically you go to like an area and just play your characters in person. And he was like, have you done it? And I'm like, no, I'd have to dress up as like a 6'2" guy. And he's like, why? I was like, because that's my character. He's like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Just kind of like trying to explain it. It's like, to be fair, he was very accepting, so I'm very grateful.
Yeah.
But yeah, that'll be interesting if we ever LARP.
Yeah, I don't know if we'd LARP as our D&D characters or whether
I think we'd probably just have to make new characters.
Yeah, it depends if you went off, because there's various like systems that do it like bigger scale.
I don't know anything about the actual system. I've heard a bit about vampire LARPing where they have like certain hand gestures for certain spells, like Auspex has like a certain hand like gesture and like things like that. And I'm sure like a lot of other ones have that kind of thing, and I've seen like joking things of like, oh yeah, my magic missile is like a bucket full of tennis balls I have with me.
Yeah.
And I'll just throw them at you.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. I mean, yeah, shit, I'd like to do it once, tick it off the bucket list.
Oh yeah, definitely at some point.
Yeah, that's how sort of
I just want to be able to get away with wearing chainmail in public, you know what I mean? We should bring that shit back.
To be honest, I remember many years ago saying that one of my ultimate dreams is that we get to a point in a society where you can walk around as if you're a character from Game of Thrones and no one would bat an eye.
To be fair, you can do that now. I mean, like Kelly Turnbull, the artist behind like Manly Guys Doing Manly Things webcomic, fucking phenomenal. Look her up. She literally dresses like a Mad Max villain.
That is
true. She is fucking amazing. Like her wedding, when she got married, they had fucking like Humongous there making pancakes. Didn't he actually marry them?
Yeah, Lord Humongous, the guy who played him, officiated their wedding.
Yeah. And then he made people pancake, and everyone's just dressed up like they're in Mad Max. It's like, that's the coolest fucking thing. It's like, but yeah, like, it would be nice if we could all walk around in chainmail and fucking God knows what and have no one...
You know what we want? We want to exist in the same sort of like utopian future that Star Trek The Next Generation exists in, where the captain of a starship can be walking around like a 1950s or 1940s detective and no one bats an eye. They're just like, Picard's just off to go LARP on the holodeck. It's fine.
Oh my god, the holodeck is literally just digital LARPing.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Oh my god.
And yet...
that's the space future I need.
Yeah, the holodeck is used for two things, which is virtual fucking and LARPing.
So just extrapolating from this, it'd be nice to live in a society where everyone is just nice to each other and doesn't judge.
Yes.
Well, yeah, basically.
Yes, basically.
One day we'll get there.
I hope. If I have to fucking choke bitches out, I'll fucking do it.
No. You're misunderstanding being nice to people, man.
Okay, but if they're mean to me, I'll give them a stern telling off and try and persuade them verbally and not choke them. I mean, mentally, I'll think about choking them. Fuck will I think about it. I won't actually do it.
Some people definitely need choking.
I don't know. Okay, so...
Anyway, moving on.
Moving swiftly on. What else have you been up to?
The last thing I wanted to quickly mention is that we went to see Black Panther.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I want to see that. That looks so good.
Yeah. So I have... Yeah, it's good. It's very good. I mean, it's a Marvel film, and the story is... It's on the better end of the... You know, there's no sky beams or bullshit. But if you just take it just straight up for the story, it's like one of the better Marvel, but it's not like, it's not, Oscar-winning story stuff or whatever. Yeah. But that's not really the point. It's very enjoyable, and it's such an important film to have been as successful as it is. And it's just like, oh, you know what? You might not have to be white to be successful.
Yeah,
shocking thought. But,
absolutely. I'm super happy, and I really do want to see it because it does look great, and it looks like such a celebration of people of colour, like their culture, like especially African culture and things like that. And it's like
yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm not one to exactly say how important it is to me because I'm not in a position where I want to comment to people. But you know what? I still enjoyed it. It's a very good film.
Absolutely.
And definitely go and see it if you can, especially like if you've seen all other Marvel films and then for some reason you're like, oh, you know what, I'm just not that interested in that one. You probably have a bit of a think about why you think that this one Marvel film is not, you're not interested in, because that's a little bit to be honest.
I get you.
Like, if you don't want to see it, fine, but just have a bit of a think about why.
We're not casting any aspersions, nothing like that. But,
I mean, only if, like, if you've just seen one or two of the Marvel films and you're just particularly into Thor and you only see Thor, fine. But if you've seen all the other Marvel films and enjoyed them, and then suddenly, I don't think I'll go see this one. Yeah, because I've seen some people say that, and I was like, yeah, it's like, But anyway, it is very good, even without the sort of cultural importance of it. It is an enjoyable film. Yeah. Anyway,
so yeah. Drummer Matt, what else have you been up to, sweetie?
That was all on my list. I will mention, because on comics, so I've been buying some Marvel comics, but in French, just to practice reading and whatnot.
Oh yes, Les Marvel.
Exactly, and I got through Civil War 2 because they'd come out like 6 months after in America,
because of all the translations and whatever.
So last year I was getting the Civil War 2 ones, which I enjoyed. It take me a while to read through them, just because reading in French is a bit slower, but.
Yeah.
The next one I got after that, I was like, okay, I'll move on to the next one. And then after that finished, they restarted a bunch of it. They're called Marvel Now. I don't know if that's a French. I mean, obviously the word's not, but I don't know if that's just a here or if in America they started.
Yeah.
Again.
I don't know.
But anyway, they started at number 1, so I was like, okay, it's a good chance to get something new. So I started buying some Deadpool comics.
Nice.
I was like, okay, give those a go. But Deadpool in French, to try and, firstly, it's all jokes and trying to understand the jokes. And secondly, the first issue I've got is like, I don't know, it's from. I could look. I can't remember off the top of my head which original American Deadpool comic it is. But he's like back in like Shakespearean times, and he's like meeting various Shakespearean characters. So it's Shakespearean English translated into French. So it's like,
oh god, and they're all going to be jokes and
it's all references. I'm just like, I just don't understand what's happening.
That sounds like it would trouble a native French speaker, let alone someone who's just trying to learn.
It's such hard work, so it's put me on a pause on comics for a bit because I keep trying to come back to it, and I was like, I don't want to buy more till I've got through that. And the thing is, because I was slow in reading them, I've got like a few. This is issue number 1, and I've got like a few. They came out monthly, and I've got like 4 or 5.
Oh god!
Because I kept buying them, thinking, I don't want to miss one, and then read it and go, okay, I'm enjoying this, and then. I don't like having issue 1 and then issue 5 or something. I was like, well, I might as well get the ones in between, but I still can't get through issue 1. So it's been sat on a pile, making me feel guilty every time. It's like,
what's the French word for guilt?
I can't remember.
Oh
God!
You put me on the spot. That's why you're having trouble. You're not learning the negative French words.
You put me on the spot.
Le guilt. Le guilt.
But I don't have anything else to say about that apart from
learning a new language is hard, but if it helps, I'm super proud of you, because you don't have to learn, and it's really hard to learn a new language, especially as a native English speaker, where literally the rest of the world is like, any non-native English speaker, like, the world thrusts upon them the idea that it's their responsibility to learn our language, and it's like, so yeah,
and even just other languages, like most people we know here know English, but then they might, if they're French, they might also know Spanish, or we've got Portuguese French who knows Spanish and French and English, and it's just like it's
exactly.
Not. Yeah, everyone else is better than us.
They really are, yeah. Basically. They absolutely fucking are, without a doubt.
But anyway, that's all I had to chat about.
Okay.
Okay, so, Snipe, what have you been doing?
Well, I was tempted to put this at the end of what I've been up to, because, the whole anticipation thing.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm so excited, and I know this is literally why people are tuning in. So, okay, here goes. I bought an Imperial Fists mug, officially licensed Games Workshop mug.
You did, yes.
Yeah, there we go. It's really good,
I
you
saw
guys.
the picture, it was glorious.
Yes. Fucking hundreds of people saw the fucking picture. That's like our most fucking popular tweet.
It is. It is the most popular tweet that has ever been on The Snipe and Wib / my Twitter.
Yeah, that is so fitting that you're, especially coming from the Wib controlled, so the British controlled tweet. A receptacle for tea is probably the most appropriate, most popular tweet.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna we're gonna lose all our fans now because I'm explicitly using it for coffee. As an Australian, it is my want. But yeah, that was fucking strange. It was like that was the most popular tweet we've ever had of just you going. I like my wife collects too many mugs, so I said we should probably not have that many, and she just went, no, we're buying this one. It's like literally it's like really.
Okay, I think the way it was put in the tweet was funnier, but same basic idea.
Slightly.
I'm paraphrasing, but yeah. Because we were just wandering around town and we happened into a game shop and they have like a very small 40k section.
Like 5 items small.
Yeah, it's really small. And it was just like, I just laid my eyes on this Imperial Fist mug. I was like, oh! And it's that cool picture of the Imperial Fist.
Yeah, it's the picture from, I think it was either the 6th or 7th expansion that had the Imperial Fists in it. The like the mini codex thing for them.
And it's just super cool. And I was just like, oh, I'm having this. And then apparently Twitter just lost its fucking mind. So yeah, in the same vein as Warhammer, I've been playing Vermintide 2.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I got it on pre-order, which I usually would avoid, but I thought what I was going to do is, because on pre-order, it lets you play it before its release in the beta version. So I thought what I'll do is I'll play it, and if I'm not feeling it, if I think they've fucked it up or whatever, I'll return it.
Yeah.
Because I'm not, and maybe down the line, if I thought if they fucked anything up, I'll wait until they patched it or whatever. No, honestly, there's a few bugs, but I've actually been quite enjoying it. All the main cast is back. The I can't remember their name. Sienna, the fucking bright wizard, and there's old One Eye, the bastard, like fucking witch hunter, and the soldier, and the elf and the dwarf. They're back.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't really pay attention to the names. You might know.
I've noticed. They also have Chaos Warriors.
They have Chaos in it as well. They have I think they're Nurgly boys. The yucky boys.
I did see you playing like one of the maps, and yeah, they did look nurgly.
Yeah, and so we've got Skaven and we've got nurgly boys. We've got a few new kind of like, for lack of a better word, special infected. They've got like the giant Chaos Warrior who's just a big scary meat man. I've only managed to play like the same run like 3 or 4 times. So yeah, they've got the Rat Ogres back, the Ratty Boys. There's all those big ones. They've increased the kind of They've added like subclasses. So like every class, like Witch Hunter or whatever, has like a subclass.
Oh yeah, because you could. The one I remember, because I remember seeing it before it came out at beta. Because by the time people will be listening to this, the actual game will be out
because it's released on March 8th. So, which is literally the same day we release a. Well, no, that's a day after we release our fucking weekly gameplay video, so we'll have to wait until next week, because worst timing.
But yeah, seeing like early release things, I saw the dwarf as a giant slayer, and I was like, yes!
It's fucking rad. Yeah.
Nice.
You they've kind of got like the 3 kind of things. I mean, I haven't played long enough, because each character has their own kind of like level, so if you play a lot with one character, that character will level up, so it will unlock the next specialization. I've played a lot with the soldier, played a bit with the bright wizard. I don't know, I like the wizard. I think she's very cool. And I like that. I tend to start as soldier because I'm relearning how to play this game.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Kind of character, because he's quite straightforward. And yeah, I'm interested. I'm wanting to play. Oh shit, I can't remember the name of the specialization for the elf lady. Where she's basically like a handmaiden. She's like a spear woman.
I have no earthly idea.
I'm trying to figure it out in my own brain, not yours. Don't worry.
Okay.
But yeah, and that looks really cool. But yeah, I haven't got to it yet. And we've got like loot crates that are kind of not like those. Oh dear God, not like those.
Do you mean loot crates that just drop after each thing, but you can't buy them?
You get a level up, and then it gives you like a loot box, and like what you get after every scenario completion. Is like, how many tomes did you pick up? The tomes are back.
Yeah.
It replaces your health kit, so you've kind of got to decide what you want, because it gives you more points. So the more kind of special stuff you carry, the more points you get, and it'll upgrade the crate you've got at the end of it.
So it's less of a loot crate
it's
and
like
more
what
of
they
just...
did with dice in the first one, but they've changed it to boxes.
So it's less of a loot crate and more of a random reward at the end?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been enjoying it. It's been fun. There was a weird bug I encountered because I have to rearrange controls because, I play lefty, where anytime I would re-instance, so when it basically spawns you in the fucking shrine, like the beginning of Dark Souls 2's fucking like main hub area. It really does look like that.
Dark Souls 3.
Dark Souls 3, that's it, yeah. So it just looks like Dark Souls 3's like initial hub area, instead of the tavern this time. Like it would not recognize any of my controls that I changed. So, and it would still show like using the arrow keys, but WASD would work. And I messaged them and they're like, "This is a known issue. Thank you very much for your report. I have marked your issue as closed." That kind of thing. So, but I managed to get around that. But apart from that, no, it's been fun. They've done what I was hoping they would do, which is just take the original kind of premise and just build on that. So it is more of the same, but there's like more of it.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, like the implementation of chaos is pretty cool because it gives you a different horde kind of consistency.
Do you play? You don't play as chaos. They're just one of the hordes that.
They're just one of the people you get to cut up. Yeah, basically.
Just sometimes it's ratties and sometimes it's spiky boys.
Well, sometimes it's both.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I have a big, my only real serious kind of disappointment with it is you don't get the lady with the horse and carriage waiting for you at the end. It's just like a weird kind of dome that you have to stand in, which is how you also start maps. So you load in to another game with a bunch of other people. And my very first game, it was 1 a.m. and I was bleary eyed and I was like, I just want to play it because it just installed. And I haven't played the original Vermintide in a while. And I was like, oh, everyone's ready. Shit, how do I ready up? What was my button? And I was checking my controls, and then I just gave up, and I was like, guys, sorry, I'd forgotten what my ready up button was. And they were like, you don't have one, dude. Come and stand in the fucking orb. And I'm like, are you serious? And then they were really nice, to be fair. They were like, oh, first time playing. And I'm like, I hit it well, but yes. So yeah, they were doing nice, but yeah. It's still very hard.
Yeah, I remember
very hard game.
I remember the original Vermintide being
difficult.
Difficult is perhaps the wrong word, but it's just it requires a lot of spatial awareness of what's going on around you, and it was just a bit much for me personally that I found it very stressful to play.
It does have that kind of element of the bad controls actually add to it. So I went from playing that to playing Left 4 Dead, and I was so thrown off by how responsive the controls were. So, it's it really does give you a feeling of weight. So you're swinging a mace, and it does take you a couple of seconds to bring up that momentum. Whereas in, it's basically a hit scan weapon in Left 4 Dead, you know what I mean? So it's it's really quite difficult to readjust to. So, you're swinging your fucking axe around really slowly, but it's doing a lot of damage and things like that. But no, it's I've been enjoying it.
Good.
I'm looking forward to them fixing a couple of bugs, but it seems to run better as well.
Hopefully, by the time people are listening to this and it's had its full release, then they'll have fixed those minor things.
Yeah, I'm hoping, but no, have been enjoying it.
Yes.
What else? Oh, and I've got another Warhammer thing to talk about. Played a bit of Space Crusade the other day.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. There's a gaming cafe nearby, and they have a bunch. Well, they have nearly everything. But we went in for a bit of a look about, and we spotted Space Crusade, and we were like, we've got to fucking play it. We've got to play Space Crusade.
Yeah, it's funny because I spoke to the guy, one of the guys that worked there, and he just said, lots of people like to say they've played Space Crusade, but few people actually have got through a game of it.
Yeah, it's he did seem quite enthusiastic about it, because he came and brought us tea and coffee, and he was like, oh, Space Crusade, nice classic.
And yeah, the thing is, we had to learn this whole entire new game and play it in the space of 3 hours, because that's how long our slot was. And the
it
rules
took us 30 minutes to set up and figure shit out.
I think it's a bit more than that.
We'll figure out how to set the board up, I guess.
because the rule book is not exactly the best written and doesn't give you examples where it would really be helpful to give examples. It only gives you examples, like, I think the only real ones it gives you are to do with like shooting people, so it tells you how to roll those things. But like you know how like in a lot of games it'll give you an example like turn. It didn't give those, or I didn't see them. I mean, that's the thing. I'm trying to burn through reading a rule book.
Yeah, because like we're timed, so there's that added stress there.
But yeah, once we got going, I did really enjoy it because I was playing the aliens.
I was playing the Blood Angels because I didn't want to play Ultramarines.
And also because of it being
because it's a fucking massively old game, so like some of the pieces are missing. Like we found a pair of Gene Stealer arms, but we couldn't find a Gene Stealer model.
So when we needed to use a Gene Stealer, we actually used a grot that someone had painted in some glorious pink trousers, as he was the Gene Stealer.
He was the Gene Stealer with a J.
Oh, yeah.
But
I was quite proud of that, actually.
I like that.
Jim the Gene Stealer.
Nice.
But yeah, no, that was... I quite enjoyed it, although I think, like, again, this is one of those things where we don't know from looking at the rules, like, how... If we were missing something because there's only two of us, and you can play it with just two people.
Yeah, it does say that you can play it with two, but I found it quite unbalanced. I think it needs at least 3 people, so 2 Marine players and one person controlling the aliens.
Because didn't read anywhere where it said I had to rebalance the amount of... Because the way the game works is when a Marines go into an area for the first time, the alien player gets to put down little blips that are like blips on a radar or sonar system, whatever.
Or specs, one might say.
Well, yeah, but you know the blips, how they're being represented is like that. Like they're being picked up on a thing.
I'm messing with
you. And you put a load of those down. So the player doesn't know what those blips are, but it says on the other side what they are. So that might be an orc, or that might be
DREADNAWT.
An android, which is actually a Necron, you know.
A chaos android.
I think it's a chaos android, yeah. Or a DREADNAWT, which is like the big enemy.
I don't think you pronounced it properly.
DREADNAWT!
There we go.
That's from the 1991 advert for it that was on TV.
There's like a kid who just goes, DREADNAWT! It's like, okay,
he's super into Space Crusade.
He's super into that DREADNAWT.
Oh, yeah. He's well into it.
Oh, he is, dirty boy.
And then when someone gets in line of sight of one of these blips, you then turn it over and you can then put a model down. But the thing is, now, it might say this somewhere in the rules, but again, we were having to burn through learning the rules and playing the game, so we might have missed it, but it didn't seem to say anywhere where you had to rebalance the amount of enemies that I had to throw at you, so...
There were quite a few, because I got, was it 5 Marines and a Commander?
It's 4 Marines
4 Marines and a Commander. So, yeah, like I think my Commander has 6 wounds, and the rest don't.
They just have a wound.
They just have a wound. So, walking into a square, like with a lot kind of like tough boys out there. It was a bit much for my little Marine boys to deal with.
It can be. Also,
especially because I rolled so fucking poorly. The first 4 rolls were like double zeros.
In fairness,
it was shocking.
Yeah, I mean, in fairness, the way the dice for the game are set out means that double zeros happen really often. So the basic dice for the game, not counting heavy weapons dice, because I can't remember the exact layout of those, but regular dice, on 4 sides they have 0, on one side 1, and on one side 2.
Okay, right.
Yeah,
okay.
But no, this was my heavy weapons die.
Which I think is slightly better.
I think they only maybe have 1 set of zeros on them or something. I can't remember. I'll have to have a look at them. But you have a better percentage chance of hitting with your heavy weapons dice. There's 2 of them. And that was the first roll I made, and it was double zero. And then the second one I made, because I kept going for the guy with basically had the rocket launcher, because he had the heavy weapons dice, and it was my autocannon as well. So I was like, yeah, I'll go for those, and I just kept fucking getting double zeros, and it was ridiculous how fucking poor my rolls were. Like, seriously, it was like I was playing D&D, it was that bad.
It's an assault cannon, because I always make that mistake.
Yeah,
I always call assault cannons autocannons, but an autocannon is a specific thing, and someone will correct you.
Someone will correct me. So stop writing out that fucking comment.
Oh, they've sent it already. It's too late.
Oh, it's too late. It's too late. Instead of correcting me, how about you tell me your favourite ice cream flavour? And if you don't like ice cream, how about your favourite type of pie? Isn't that constructive? And we can all share things we enjoy.
Good.
I don't want to fucking be seeing this shit correcting me. Anyway. Fucking Space Crusade.
Alright, I have 2 quick questions then.
Okay.
So, this is an old game, right? Is it?
Yeah.
It's not one of the ones, because Games Workshop have actually going back and remaking a lot of their old games. They brought back, Blood Bowl, and they brought back...
Necromunda.
They're bringing back Necromunda?
Mm-hmm.
It's already come back, yeah.
Is that out already?
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's various other things, and they've done a lot of board games recently, so I was wondering if this is one of the ones that they've redone, or if this is just a straight-up old one.
I hope they would do it, because I would really like to own this game.
Yeah, they have, as far as I'm aware, never re-released it, and it was possibly because it was originally released by MB Games. It was a Milton Bradley job. Just kind of licensed.
Okay.
Getting it in a decent condition now is probably...
Yeah.
Looking at it, it's quite often over £100 to get a good, a pristine copy.
Oh, well.
Mm-hmm.
If you want a slightly knackered copy, you're still looking around about £60 on eBay.
Oh. Is it using GW models? Or is it...
Yeah.
So it's not just a license and then they're doing it themselves. It is actually
it comes with about 15 Space Marines and a bunch of Chaos Marines. And
that's more than £100 already, so...
They are unique. They are unique models, though. They're not just. They're not just like when you think of a monopose marine. They're in the same pose, but they are a different sculpt, and they have you can swap out the hands for different weapons and things.
Okay.
Yeah, the hands have got like a little plug. You can push different weapons in and remove them at will. Apart from my commander, who I'm pretty sure someone had glued them in there. He had a power glove.
Yes.
Because they were still called power gloves at that point. And a power sword.
Yeah, I think it's 1991, so it was still during the Rogue Trader era that this came out.
So we had a power glove, because then he was playing with power.
Yeah, you can totally tell it's from that era when you look at the cover as well.
Oh, God, the cover is amazing. It's the most heroic fucking late 80s, early 90s fucking garbage.
It's a space marine with a high collar. It's
nice.
Actually, I don't know if anyone remembers. It used to be a reoccurring joke that I have not used for quite a while now in old videos of the screaming intro screen to the Space Crusade video game adaptation.
It was just a marine going ah, and then just opening fire.
Yeah, it was.
It was so weird.
I should probably bring that back.
You should bring it back. And also, I miss Brother Flappy Mouth. Brother Maroons. Okay, Brother Captain Flappy Mouth. That's fine.
But yeah, Space Crusade, I quite enjoyed it. It's not the most complicated game or anything, but there's something quite engaging about it.
I liked it. I thought it was a lot of fun. It was unbalanced, but I mean, I liked how it went relatively quickly, the combat and stuff. So yeah, next time you're back in the country, Drummer Matt, we're dragging you down. We're playing with you.
I was going to say that my second point was I'm back in the UK in a couple of weeks. So
yeah, we're taking you down, and we are going to play Space Crusade, and
nice.
It is going to be awesome.
Nice.
It's going to be so fun. I can't wait. I just want to play that game again.
The people who work there are just going to know us as the fuckers that just come in every few weeks and play Space Crusade, aren't they?
I want to go in once a week and play Space Crusade.
In fairness, they do also have things like Space Hulk and Hero Quest, as well as other brands.
They have the Doom
tabletop games are available.
Yeah, they've got loads of stuff. It's great.
Yeah. There was one because they not only they have the rent wall. Like where you can rent the games to play, and then there's the purchasing wall. And there was one that immediately caught my eye, which was like One Night a Werewolf, because obviously that catches my fucking eye, because werewolves are the shit. And I meant to have a look at it, because it's like this cute little box, and it was like opposite the One Night a Vampire. I'm like,
yeah, unfortunately, when we were leaving, there was like an event setting up. So
I think that there was literally a Warhammer event on as we were leaving.
Yeah,
we're like, no, sorry, you new age nerds. We're old school, and we look at you with scorn. So no, our time was up, and we just wanted to go home.
Yeah, and it would have been awkward to get around all of the people to look at the other games.
Surprising how packed that place gets, really.
But yeah, so we'll probably have some more tales as we go on of trying out some other old school board games and stuff, so that should
absolutely
be fun.
Apart from that and just working hard on my arts, I've not really been up to much.
Okay.
I've spent pretty much the entirety of today drawing Viking knotwork.
You have. You're doing very well.
Thank you. That's all I've been doing all fucking day.
Because it looks incredibly difficult to draw.
My hand is so sore. I've been working really hard.
It's all that power gloving.
It's all that power gloving I'm doing,
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, well...
See, if someone asked me if I'd rather be power gloved or power fisted, I know what my answer would be.
Both?
At the same time.
But you don't want to be power degloved.
Oh!
Don't Google any part of that.
Okay,
yeah.
Seriously, don't Google that because it's very gory and it's gross. See, I come out with silly things that are just sex related. You come out with honest fucking gore.
It's to do with all of the skin on your penis getting kind of yanked off.
Don't say it. If we're not meant to look it up, don't say what it is.
Okay, yeah,
Well, no,
don't look it up. That's what it is. Just, it's deeply unpleasant. I'm ashamed of my husband. I'm sorry. Here at Snipe and Wib Play, we don't like Wib. He's a bit of a dick.
No, what I thought was that if we don't say what it is, then people will look it up and they'll find awful things they can't see.
Why did you even have to say it, though?
Can we not just cut this whole bit?
I'm tempted.
No, it will be left. It will be left as a test for the strong.
How about, instead of that, everyone tells me who their favourite name character in Warhammer 40k is, and what you think their favourite ice cream flavour is. I think Garviel Loken's favourite ice cream flavour is strawberry.
I think Pask's favourite flavour is gun.
That's a flavour of ice cream. I think Angron's favourite flavour of ice cream is screaming.
Yeah.
That's only because whenever he tries to put ice cream in his mouth, the screaming stops it from staying in.
Ow! That amazing noise of Angron trying to eat. I would think that he would try and make rum and raisin his favourite.
He'd try.
Because he's a freaky boy like that.
Anyway, rather than talking about this...
You're a freak if you like rum and raisin.
Shall I just start talking about the things that I was going to talk about and we can move on from this?
Yes, please.
Yes.
So, this week, or this fortnight, I've done a few little things. I beat Mad Max, because I was playing that last time. Mid-mix.
What do you think about Mid-Mix?
It's pretty good.
Do you finish with enough script?
I finished with enough script. Okay. I've managed to upgrade my engine to the highest level, which was oddly satisfying. What I will say is, the stuff that I said last time still stands. I do think it's fun. Although I will say it has a unique criticism that I don't believe I've ever had of another video game.
Not enough Australians. Be very careful with how you respond.
I think most games have the right amount of Australians.
None.
Okay.
No.
I think this marriage has one too many Australians.
Oh!
Zing!
It's got one too many New Zealanders, certainly.
Oh! Keep fucking talking!
No. No, it's honestly, it's genuinely nice to hear people with accents I don't hear every day. Well, obviously I do hear an Australian accent every day, but you know what I mean? In media, you know what I mean?
No!
In media, I don't, most things are, I hear either American or British. So hearing another accent is interesting.
I mean, besides mine.
Especially your favourite accent.
Yeah, British, apparently.
Oh, I have no liking of the British accent.
What's wrong with that?
I'm stuck with one. Of course I'm sick of hearing it.
I don't know, I kind of like the way you guys say the word scrunge.
Scrunge.
How have we got back to scrunge?
It all comes back to scrunge.
Can we not talk about scrunge?
That's all I want to talk about.
It's a kind of kitchen sponge or something, okay?
It's a scouring sponge, and they portmanteaued it so it would be scrunge. And it sounds horrible, and I love it.
Portmanteau means coat stand.
You're a coat stand. I'm gonna fucking put my coat on you. Dirty bastard.
Anyway, Mad Max. The thing that I have not been able to say about another game that is unique about it, which is that the final boss really could do with an extra phase.
Okay.
That is, what will you never hear a gamer say?
Yeah. Because you do, the first phase that's against, a giant vehicle. And then you fight...
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, and then once you've done that, you, fight on foot while the enemy is in a car.
Okay.
And then that's kind of it. And it really felt like there should be a fist fight, considering that's like the primary combat in the game, like after that. But you don't. And it's like, oh, okay. The ending's also a little flat, but it kind of had to be to make it fit with Mad Max.
Okay.
So yeah, but the actual game, as I said before, quite grindy, but I enjoyed it, and I'm still kind of plugging away trying to 100% it because I'm a strange human who does things like that sometimes.
You force yourself to complete Duke Nukem Forever because you hate yourself, so...
Yeah, but sometimes I'll just get obsessed with trying to 100% a game, or if not 100% it, just do my own version of it, where it's like, okay, these are the things I can muster the thing to care about, but I won't do all of this. Like, I'm not going to do all of the challenges, because some of them are really stupid, like, build this exact version of the car...
Build
and then
this
ram
pristine,
50
perfect
people or whatever.
1-1 replica of Dame Edna, which sounds amazing.
It is set in Australia, so that's quite possible.
Yeah.
I haven't got to that mission yet.
You're kind of having a drama map moment, because, drama map being a massive completionist. Look, he's like the only person I know who completed WoW. That's what I get, Matt. Fucking seriously. There's like a 10-second delay and then fuck you.
Anyway.
Fucking hell.
Anyway.
Work my arse off for this fucking podcast.
Other video game. I've been playing a bit of Skullgirls because it was on Humble Bundle.
I've played a bit of that too. It's
what
fucking beautiful. It's a fighting game and the animation style is fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, it fits into that kind of category of things. So I'm trying to think of a good example of something similar to it. When something involves... a good comparison is it's like watching Kill la Kill, where you're watching it and you're really enjoying it and the animation is great, but every now and again you go, there's a lot of panty shots in this and I'm not sure how to feel about that.
The boobs are massively over-animated.
Yeah.
But they're like, I don't know, it's like, whatever, there's always going to be things like that. But like the gameplay is really solid and the animations are fantastic and the character design's pretty cool. I mean, I personally main Ms. Fortune.
I'm a Valentine.
I'm definitely
myself.
Ms. Fortune.
But
Longfang's like Beowulf?
Yeah, he likes playing Beowulf. Yeah. But what I can say is that I'm bad at it, but it has been interesting to pick up a fighting game with a new kind of system, because I don't pick up fighting games very often at all. Like, the ones that I will play tend to be ones I've got like a history with, so like Tekken, Soul Calibur, Smash Brothers. Like I enjoy playing those, and occasionally I'll play... You're
missing out on the real classics like Bloody Roar and Evil Zone.
Oh yes, Evil Zone, the best beat-em-up that has ever been made.
Yeah, no.
It's actually, I have a weird fondness for it.
The actual like gameplay is pretty poor, but like I loved what it was trying to do. Yeah. It was massively ambitious, and yeah.
We have talked about maybe Evil Zone might be a review one day because it's
so strange.
Yeah. But anyway, I've been quite enjoying playing Skullgirls. Just playing like lots of little online matches because with our mate Longfang, because I'm just generally not good enough at the game to play online with other people. But playing it with other people who are learning the mechanics of it means that at least there's
You're learning together.
Yeah, learning together. So that's been kind of interesting. And yeah, I mean, I don't know if it will still be available by the time this podcast comes out, but yeah, it's on Humble Bundle, so you can pick it up cheap.
Yeah, I mean, that's where you got it, isn't it? You were saying, oh, it looks really cool, and it's cheap, I'll pick it up.
Yeah, because I'd always wanted to play it, but I'd never found it for a price kind of cheap enough to justify it.
Well, if you don't know if you're going to like it, so that does make sense.
Yeah, it also came with, a Guilty Gear game and something else, which I'd also not played them, and I'd always wanted to give them a shot just to see how they were, so that's good, so I'll try that.
My favourite character is Ms. Fortune, because she's like a cat girl detective whose limbs come off.
Yes.
Like, she will tear off her own head and throw it at you.
Yes.
And then, like, periodically you can press the shoulder buttons and the head will just spurt blood and jump in a direction, and that can injure your opponent. It's phenomenal.
One of my favourite ones is the, like, super special attack you can do with Valentine, where she wraps you. I think she wraps you in a body.
Nurse.
Yeah,
she's like a sexy nurse.
Yeah. She wraps your enemy in a body bag, jumps in the air, and then it's basically a cut scene where it's her like over the person.
You see the spotlight in the sun, and she peers over at you.
Like it's an operating theatre.
Yeah.
And then it like cuts back to the main thing, and there's just all of these like partitions around a surgery bed that are all just smeared with blood.
Yeah.
and then it all kind of goes away, and suddenly your enemy's lost like a chunk of their health bar, and you're like, nice.
It's very fun, very creative.
I can say it's one of those things that even if you're not interested in playing it, just go look at some gameplay footage of it, because the animations are just really cool. Not that anyone needs me to tell them that, because Skullgirls is quite well known.
All of the latest games here at Snipe and Wib play on the MisanthroPod with Drummer Matt and us.
Speaking of latest things, I do have something that's even more timely.
Oh?
So I've been reading, in my quest to read at least a book a month. I've already finished got to the end of the book for this month, which is that I finally finished Descent of Angels.
You mean that book that Remlays literally gave up? Like, he could not fucking read it after, a couple of chapters, poor guy. He was just like, no. Yeah, it's kind of... If you're reading the Heresy series and you don't want to read every single one, this is one of the missable ones. But the other book, the book I started reading afterwards, was I picked up in a charity shop a couple of months ago some old sci-fi books, because I've always had this weird draw to read some of those like sci-fi short story compilations that come from the 60s and 70s. You tend to enjoy the really old kind of sci-fi as well.
Yeah, I've always had a draw to read some, even though I hadn't read any, and so I finally started reading some. So do you want me to tell you about the very first story that I read in one?
Yes.
Yes, but what's the book called?
The book is called New Writings in Sci-Fi 14, and it comes from 1969.
Oh, that's a good year. Because it's the sex number.
The first story is a story called Blood Brother by a man called James White. Now, I don't know anything about this person. I don't know if they went on to find success. Part of me hopes they've written a massive expanded universe, because the story that I read of theirs is fucking insane. So, I'm not going to go into the full thing, because if someone has the capacity to find this, to read it, then do it. Like, I don't know how easy this is to get hold of, because I just happened to find it in a charity shop for £1, you know.
So I'm going to steal it off you, so I mean...
Fair point. So they're on like an alien hospital ship thing, where there's humans there, but there's all these kinds of aliens, and lots of them require like very specific requirements to exist. Like, they have all this weird stuff, like, to have doctors, what they actually do is they will take, like, memory tapes of a good doctor of the species they're operating on, and then sort of implant that into their mind, because no one can be an expert on the physiology of every species.
Yeah.
So they just get the experts of individual species, and they upload them into someone when they need it. But they find this new race, and... Okay, I'm trying to think of which absurd thing to put first, because the things are all ridiculous. Okay, so they find a donut, and it is a sentient donut that rolls, endlessly rolls. Okay. Because if it stops rolling, it dies, because basically the blood inside of it doesn't move, so it has to roll so it circulates.
How do they sleep? Are they like sharks, and they can kind of like...
They don't sleep.
Turn bits of the brain
No, they just
off?
don't sleep.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, the blood donuts that have to keep moving.
So these sentient things have to constantly roll. So and they're like aquatic.
Keep on rolling.
They keep rolling.
Sorry.
They are little Fred Durst. It's true.
Oh, little Fred Dursty boys.
And they're limp donuts.
Fred Durst nuts.
Limp donuts.
Yeah.
Limp donuts. Okay.
So like, but the thing is, these things have like high-end technology, like they're just experimenting with space flight.
So the donuts have height.
Yeah, high-end.
How?
They have
How
nukes.
do they fucking stand? How do they stand still enough to fuck around with nukes?
One of the earliest inventions was basically.
Oh my fucking god!
So
how big? They're not donut size, right? They're like bigger.
Are they like tyre size? Yeah. I'm thinking that they're about a car tyre.
Yeah, that's sort of how...
I'm thinking that they're made of like human flesh, so it's got like hair and it's a bit clammy.
That's kind
of how I'm imagining.
They are aquatic, so...
Of course they're aquatic. They have underwater treadmills so that they can build nuclear fucking devices.
So...
I am so on board with this guy.
So aside from the fact that this is already just nonsense, and they constantly insist on referring to them as being donuts.
That sounds like it's a racial slur, like, Gardies and Spoonheads.
But the best part is, do you want to know what the planet they're on is called? And this is a serious...
Baskin Robbins.
No, this is a serious...
Big Donut.
This is a serious story. It's not supposed to be a joke.
Okay.
Okay.
It is always referred to as meatball.
Maybe the guy was just really hungry and had to knock out a sci-fi story before dinner.
Now, the joke, the thing is, okay, I say it's serious. There's a bit of a thing. It's basically the guy who found it didn't want to have it named after him because the planet was fucking weird.
Okay.
And so I guess he was just like, just call it fucking meatball or whatever, because most of the planet's continents are actually kind of alive. This, like, it's described as like a living carpet.
That was my nickname in
and
high school.
It's like so, like, all the oceans and stuff are so obscenely full of life.
I would have called it Planet Heave.
Yeah,
because it's heaving with life.
But yeah, it's just
better than meatball.
It is just ridiculous, and yeah, the fact that at no point do they. There's one point where they call it by a number, like there's a proper category number, like a designation for a planet. But every other time they call it meatball, even though they've met the inhabitants, these weird donut people.
What do they call it?
The meatballians.
The meatballian donuts.
But they never say what what their planet is called.
So maybe they were just like, we never gave it much thought, so we guess we'll just call it meatball as well. What, you know the guy who named it, what are his children called? Like, Spam Burger and Corn Cob?
Mistake, probably.
That's
like, he sounds like a bit of an arsehole, you know? Yeah. But yeah, if you get a chance to read it, it's so fucking weird.
I just love the idea that aquatic, constantly moving donuts are making nukes on the planet Meatball.
They also all despise their families.
Okay, that's fair.
Because they can't stop moving.
Won't stop.
Like, back in the day, before they had their nukes and treadmills.
Fucking.
Do they have arms or anything, or are they just a butt,
yes.
like a donut?
I'm just seeing as an actual donut, like no arms.
They're kind of described as at one point as having like kind of tendrils that can reach off, which are presumably how they work, like tools.
Right,
and
okay.
Sticky.
I was like, how are they building anything just by rolling into it?
I know.
They're just like, oh god, they're just going to keep kind of like going around in a loop and hope for the best.
The thing is, because they had to roll around so much, it meant that it would be whenever they'd find another one of like the opposite sex, then it'd
be a very quick in and out kind of deal.
They'd have to they'd roll next to each other and kind of can attach, and that's how they mate. And then they like.
So do they lay eggs? That like
no, little donuts pop off the side.
They pop off the side, instantaneously?
No, after a gestation period.
Okay, so are they moving while they're being...
they can't stop moving. They literally die the moment.
The babies.
Yeah, as soon as they pop off, they'll start moving.
So they don't have to move beforehand?
Presumably their circulation is provided by the rotation of the parent.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, I'm trying to figure this fucking shit out. It's bonkers.
I'm not James White. I didn't take the suitable amount of head injuries to make this make sense.
Oh, that's so mean.
But...
I love it how he went into donut fucking.
No, the thing is, because like they kind of dock like side to side when they mate.
Like
they
you
have
and
to
Drummer Matt.
Yeah, because they have to keep rotating.
Yeah.
The places that like okay, I'll just say what it is. The place where their genitals are is kind of hereditary, so it's like runs in families. Like the positions of them.
Son, I'm passing my winkle onto you now.
Well, genetically they're in the same place, which means that the only people who are compatible are people who aren't related.
Good.
But that means that if they're even vaguely related, because they like pre-sentient times, they would just try and mate with whatever was nearby because they had to, because the way they moved meant that they couldn't count them.
This might be my only chance.
But yeah, they'd know if they tried to dock with someone and it hurt, that was because they were related, and because basically their genitals were the same like location. That doesn't work.
Okay.
So because of that, they have this inbuilt hatred of all of their relatives, basically because
because fucking them would hurt.
Yeah, because they hate their relatives in case they accidentally fuck them, it would hurt.
That's like that town we used to live in.
It's a bit. So yeah, that's a fucking thing.
Fucking mind blowing.
Wow. Apart from that,
you can't one up that.
I'm not going to. This is just a.
Jesus.
This is just a bit of
I think we need a cool down after that. That's crazy.
Yeah, this is just a bit of fuck it. What's the word? Housekeeping. That's the word.
Okay,
just a bit of housekeeping. By the time you listen to this, new Codex Compliant will be live.
Yes.
So I hope you'll like that.
Yeah, it's going to be out soon, and everyone should like, comment, and subscribe for more sick videos.
And if it did manage to come out on Saturday, which is when we're aiming to, we will have managed roughly a month after the first one.
Yeah.
And so then I'll have to instantly start work on the next one, which will be interesting. But yeah, I guess we should move on to our D&D escapades, because we've had a couple of games since the last time
we spoke about
it.
We have, yeah. Don't worry, I went over my notes.
Okay.
It was basically Nathan has the biggest dick and gets all of the money.
I don't think
and he's the biggest hero in the world. It was really weird, actually. I can't believe you guys don't remember it.
There's actually not that much to go over, because it was...
So, when last we left our heroes, well, I use the term loosely.
We just killed a dragon.
We just killed a dragon, and our dicks were feeling pretty engorged, because, that's pretty badass. And we had a bit of time to kill. The mayor quite nicely invited us to a fancy ball she is having, in a week and a half from that current point. So we had some time to kill. Talus had been chatting up the lady who'd taken us across the river, Nira, because she was just very taken with her.
What I realised is basically Brigitte from Overwatch, the new hero.
Yeah, new Overwatch hero. Everyone loves me talking about Overwatch. But yeah, she's basically big, strong, red-headed, and beautiful in every single way, and I love her. If
Brigitte had a side cut, then it would be Nira.
It literally just would be Nira, absolutely.
She was around before I'd seen anything of.
Yeah, Nira was before Brigitte, so... Blizzard stopped... You know how, when we were talking about you being an Overwatch character and it would be drum-based support? And then fucking Orisa came out with her drum-based ultimate. And we're all like, Blizzard, we know that you're massive fans of the MisanthroPod. Stop stealing our ideas.
I forgot about that. Yeah, that did happen.
Yeah, exactly. Still haven't got a character that's, basically screaming-based, which would be me.
Yeah.
Oh my god, what's the Hero 28 be screaming powered? Fucking hell. But anyway, so we thought we played out the date between Nira and Talus in the tavern that we live in, the Knave Scroll.
It did not go smoothly.
There were some shitty fucking rolls going on.
I'm trying to give Talus more chances to roll better, and just consistently below 10 or below even 5 a lot of the time.
To be fair, we were hanging out in the corner trying to set because Web's character Johnny, the barbarian was didn't you nat 20 a really nice love song?
Yeah, I nat 20'd the classic dwarven love song. I thought, what was it?
I'm gonna fuck you like the Umber Hulk.
No. I'll do anything.
It's literally just called Closer.
Was it I'll do anything for love, but I won't mind that? Or something like that. It was something really fucking tedious like that. But I rolled a nat 20, so... so I was giving the best possible romantic support.
And even with that, and oh god, we were one table over, just staring them down. So maybe that's why Nero was
didn't help.
I don't think it helped much.
But yeah, basically every single bit of conversation that happens, Ash playing Talus rolled
really poorly.
Under 10 for nearly every single thing. And so yeah, the date was...
To be fair, it wasn't a disaster. It was just kind of this isn't working, is it? Oh, well, shake hands, leave kind of thing.
In fairness, Matt, you had to, on the fly, work out how to do rules for a date.
Yeah, it was really well done.
Of what to roll, of how to do rolls and stuff. So I think you did really well, and it's just unfortunate the rolls didn't really back it up.
The dice did not. They were not on board for that.
Yeah, that's how it works sometimes.
Yeah.
But that session got cut short, I seem to remember. So we only really did the date then.
Yeah, you had a bit of faffing about in town and wenting around, and Talus basically went to buy a fancy hat and flowers.
She likes her fancy hats
and various other bits and bobs.
But then the next session was a little bit more constructive.
Because we've John, you gave us the option of you can go to the party now, or you can just
you still had it was just under a week, but I was you can have a bit of an explore of the town if you want, or you can go off and find something to do, or we can just skip forward, or you can roleplay just being in a pub and drinking for the week, or
for an actual week.
Yeah, which if you guys want to do, that's fine, or we can skip forward to the party.
Yeah.
I guess we could. We could LARP that and just all go to a pub.
I'll draw on a fake fake goatee, and just go and get drunk really hard.
Yeah. I'll just take my guitar and intentionally make sure to not tune it, and then I can basically just be Johnny.
Yeah, let's just LARP getting drunk. That sounds amazing. Let's do that.
But yeah, so
I've got fucking eyeliner. I'll just I've got black eyeliner. I'll just pretend.
Just do a goatee.
I'll do a goatee and.
So
scruff up my eyebrows a bit.
Because we've got some new fancy gear, like I got a new axe, like an axe of the Berserker.
Oh, that's a nice axe. You got so lucky with that.
And there was a few other bits and pieces.
I got a ring that meant that I could re-roll failed saving throws or something.
So failed dex rolls.
Failed dex. I can't remember what it was. Sora got a ring where she literally just holds out her hand and a ram pops out and goes bam and just knocks someone back.
And we thought, let's have a bit of a shot with our new stuff. Let's just go to what the local watch and find.
Let's see if there's a notice board.
Yes.
Any local bounties
and there was basically a bounty for an orc, an roving orc band that had been knocking over
the leader,
coaches.
Vetla.
Yeah, with the leader called Vetla.
Unfortunately, Sora didn't come with us. We story moded that she was just staying reading books, but Sarah wasn't feeling very well, so she went to bed early.
Yeah, so it was just the three of us.
But yeah, we were just outside the guards. What is it? The guard post.
Yeah,
the watch house.
Like HQ.
Yeah, we're just having a look at some flyers, and we're like, Vetla, let's go and fucking do that. And then one of the younger guardsmen comes out, and we all start bragging. Because hey, aren't you the guys with the dragon? We're like, yes! Oh, we're so good! God dang, aren't we pretty?
I think I gave that young man a sandwich.
You gave him a half-eaten sandwich.
No, I didn't give him a half-eaten sandwich.
I'm pretty sure it was a half-eaten sandwich.
I explicitly remember it not being half-eaten.
You've given a load of people half-eaten sandwiches.
I have, but this one...
I don't know how Johnny can eat those.
Got a whole sandwich, I think.
He got a whole sandwich.
Oh, yeah, because you look a bit underweight. Here, have a sandwich. You're a good lad.
Pulling out one of those awful cheese sandwiches.
Horrible fucking cheese sandwiches that Talus makes for us. Oh god.
And we got a little bit of information about where to go. So we stocked up and went on the road.
Did we stock up?
You stocked up with a load of health potions in the previous session.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
Because we'd used a load of them fighting the dragon. So. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we went on down.
We rocked on down to Murder Town, the patch of road that was given that last sighting, which is was it a few hours walk? It was a good 10 or so miles.
And our first encounter with some of the orcs was over absurdly quickly.
It took the whole encounter took about 4 seconds. So there was 3 orcs just having a wander. I don't think they were particularly patrolling. They were just kind of having a meander about in the bushes and whatnot, playing grab ass or whatever. So I was like, okay, I'll cast a minor illusion and pretend I've been shot with an arrow in this clearing. I'll lie down and be like, oh, because I'm a really good actor. You see, I'm really fantastic. Well, Nathan thinks he's really fantastic. I was like, you guys, Johnny and Talus were to hide, while Nathan made noise and drew them in. So I magic up an illusion of an arrow in my gut, and I'm like, oh, dang, oh, fie, this stings, comes a bit fucking keen, please help. So the orcs run in, and I roll 19 deception. They don't buy it. They just come at me with the sword swinging anyway.
But unbeknownst to them...
You guys are being proper Arnie in the bushes.
I was hiding in... Talus was hiding in a bush behind them, and I was hiding in a bush right next to Nathan.
Yep.
And so I pop out, instantly decapitate the first one,
mm-hmm.
and then, because I've got 2 attacks now, just by default, slice the other one something fierce, so he's down to super low health, and then Talus...
She aces... all of her rolls. She comes out and she basically just, cuts one of them in fucking half.
And then I think she throws the knife at the one I'd already hurt and just takes it down, the last bit of health. So that was seconds.
It was seconds. It was ridiculous how well executed this was and how fantastic the dice rolls were. It was just what?
Because really, I just wanted to play with my new axe because I get, +1 to to hit rolls, +1 to my damage, and it gives me like +1 health for every level I've got. So it was just...
It's a beast.
It started to get to a point where I'm getting a little bit confused. So if I've got my rage, it's like, okay, so I've got this. So there's my base damage, so I get that plus... So I roll a d12, and then it's plus my like strength modifier... Plus
you, like, if you popped like rage,
plus my rage, plus my rage,
and then you've got to add like an extra fucking point
an extra
from your
one,
axe.
and then it's like proficiencies and all sorts.
It's so, you poor thing! It must be such a burden.
It's just if I'm not 100% awake, my brain just completely grinds to a halt because I forget what I've added.
There's a whole lot of maths involved.
I've started like noting down like it's just okay. This is what your amount to add is when you're doing this. Like it's the simplest way,
it's a good idea.
Rather than trying to add it up each time because that just gets me really confused. So we get rid of those and we move on
incredibly quickly.
Nathan's somewhat salty that he was technically not involved in the combat.
Yeah, I got a bit cranky. Okay, whenever I say I mean my character.
Yeah,
but yeah, I got kind of salty because I was like, thought up this great fucking thing. I was gonna like I'm gonna tug on their heartstrings and be like, oh no, this poor, sweet, handsome man, so injured. And then I was going to stab one of them in the throat. And it would have been amazing. But no, my teammates are too fucking competent. God dang.
So we move on and we find another camp.
We found like a mini camp with like a few kind of like makeshift tents made of like furs and like kind of busted up linen with a few goblins just hanging out around a fire. Luckily, there's a lot of tall grass around, so we're like, well, we'll do the Velociraptor thing from fucking Lost World, so we'll just sneak around in the grass for a bit. Which, the grass was our biggest fucking saviour.
Yeah.
That grass was amazing.
No. The dice later on were your biggest saviour.
Okay, they were, but for now, it was the grass.
Okay.
So we're kind of like, okay, we can't... There's like a bigger camp further on that we can't quite make out, which, okay, that's where the boss, Vetla, is going to be. That's where she's going to be hanging out. But for now, it's just these goblins, and there was a patrol that was coming past infrequently. So we were like, okay, we waited until basically they moved. And I think, didn't you pop out and... Oh no, you fucked up your stealth check. So one of them came to look.
Yeah.
I panicked, and I just shouted out meow. So, not like that, I actually made a cat noise.
No, I like the idea of just this deep red voice, like, meow.
To be fair, that would scare me off, going to investigate. But yeah, and like the goblin still keeps coming, so like I think he comes towards you, and you just basically just fucking grab him by the head and just fucking... Oh god, what was it? No.
Oh, no, you see, I made a mistake for comedy.
Oh no, I remember, because I remember like my character got super fucking mad at you.
So...
Look, it's the police coming to arrest you for bad role-playing.
No, I think it's good role-playing. It's just...
Okay, it was good, it's just that really pissed off my guy.
It just wasn't good for us as a party. So whilst we're, basically running in between the grass and fighting these things in and out of it, a goblin ends up just walking out dead in front of me.
No, this was the guy who was coming to look.
Yeah,
to look. Because out of the three, they were like, they probably just scissors, paper, rocked, and whoever lost kind of went off and had a look in the bushes. And if you can imagine it, this goblin kind of wandering through grass. It's probably about as tall as he is, and he slides his hand through the blades of grass, parts it, and he sees Johnny the fucking Barbarian. And now, with this big fucking axe, he's got a bit of gore on him, he's already killed a couple of people. And this fucking terrifying dwarf locks eyes with you, and then waves his hand in the most feathery and delicate way. To greet you.
Now, what I should have done, because this was basically the action that I got to have as before combat began, I should have attacked. Yeah. But no, I chose to wave.
You wave, you were like, hello. Like, yeah, wiggling his fingers, like, properly, really, really polite, kind of like, fucking feathery wave. The goblin, rightly so, turntails and fucking bolts, shouting, oh my god, the dwarves are coming, or whatever. And I'm just like, fuck this. So I fireball the thing and just basically vaporize it where it stood. And I singed the grass pretty bad to the point where I think throughout the rest of the encounter it was just sitting there smouldering.
Like, it was a small fire.
Threatening to like, engulf the woods. So yeah, then the other two goblins were like, I wonder what that was. I appreciate goblins are just weak little fucking losers, but that's still kind of like we could have literally been next to a bunch of orcs, so...
Yeah, the orcs started coming later.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, your rolls for how much that first goblin shouting attracted them, and also the fireball noise attracted the main pack camp was... I sort of did a, like, how far the sound would travel roll, and I rolled, like, pretty much ones all night on every time I rolled on it.
Thank God.
Yeah, you weren't the most subtle.
We tried to be, but again, with us, like, we try, but it usually fails.
It's usually, I think what usually happens is that we start off with a sensible idea and then something happens and it spirals out of control.
Yeah, I wonder what that could have been.
Yeah, but I stand by it. It's what Johnny would have done.
To be fair, it is usually Nathan, so...
Hey! That's mean and slightly accurate. To be fair, it's usually because I've got a harebrained scheme to try and like avoid combat, and then I end up making it worse.
Yeah.
But to be fair, the last two like horribly like combat initiations have been done by you and Talus.
Yeah, no, that is fair.
So,
that's fair.
Yeah.
But so we end up spending like I think the rest of the really session hiding in the tall grass,
hitting and fading from grass.
Yeah, periodically lobbing things at the gradually increasing amount of orcs.
Well, I think you go out and you kill the other two goblins, and then you hide their bodies. But then, like, the main camps heard you, so they send a guy down, and you just manage to hide the bodies in time, and you're hiding in one of the tents. The other orc comes down, and he just thinks that the goblins have been twats and run off. So he's like, fucking okay. And then you roll a 20 on, because you can't see him.
Yeah.
So Johnny rolls a 20 and can tell where he is and when he turns round. So you hop out and basically fucking just clobber him.
Well, I try to.
You try to. Didn't you miss?
I don't think that worked, and he ran off and pulled the rest of them.
Yeah. So back to the grass. So occasionally, like one of us was like, fireball, and hide back down.
And so yeah,
by one of us, I mean me. I was the only caster there.
So yeah, we dive back into the grass by the time the group appears, and just like you're lobbing warlock spells, which are the ones that don't necessarily have like a trail following them. They just kind of appear.
I cast Shatter, which is, if you don't know what Shatter is, and if you ever going to play a warlock, take Shatter. It's amazing. It's so cool. So what Shatter is, you basically pick a point of origin, and then from that point explodes like this massive noise, and it does a lot of like smashy, hurty damage. So I picked that kind of like in the middle of like a few of these guys, because it's got like a 15-foot range. And I'm maybe, because there's a caster and there's a few brutes as well, including Vetla, the big war boss lady. So I kind of aim for the caster and another couple of guys, and because she shouts something in Orcish. So using my warlock powers, because it can be a voice or a phrase or whatever, when you cast Shatter, that's what the noise is. I copy what she said in her own voice.
And you that wasn't the Shatter, that was your minor illusion.
Yeah. Ah, shit, okay. I'm getting so confused because it was at least 10 years ago. I do that later, and it's really cool. So yeah, I shatter, and I think I kill one of them. I think I severely
think you kill a couple
wound
of
one
minions.
I think I might kill a couple of goblins, but yeah. And there's like the guy who originally came out to see the goblins, like the orc who came out to see the goblins, went back to get everyone and came back. He's like massively weirded out by all this. He's like, the fuck did that come from? He's looking around, and then like, oh god, like one of you throws like a knife at another one.
I think I throw a javelin.
You throw a javelin. I don't think he saw where that came from, so he's just like, it's a fucking. He's just like confused that like they are obviously under attack, but that he has no idea where, which is a hell of a lot of fun.
We're basically doing guerrilla tactics, except we're just in a bush.
We're just in some tall grass, and they're kind of like, what? Yeah.
Why does this bush occasionally hurt us? What's happening?
The bush
and then you started replicating the things that Vetla was shouting.
Yeah, so I made it like 15 foot to the right,
just to make
the rest
them.
of just everyone be confused. Which initial orc guy really got confused by.
Yeah. And I can't remember what happened. I think we just gradually start whittling them down through.
I finally got to use counterspell, and it was great.
Oh yeah, you did.
I was popped up and like, no, and then just hid in the bush again.
Because they had a mage character, like a mage goblin. Was it goblin or was it an orc?
It was an orc.
Yeah, an orc.
Yeah, the goblins were gone by this point. It was just orcs left, headed down from the main camp.
And he was doing like magical spears.
Yeah, you ran out into the thick of it because you're like, fuck it, I need to get up close and hit people, so it was like, fine. And Talus kept jumping in and then disengaging and getting back in the grass. So you ran in and were like swiping out at everyone. And he summoned a spear, like a light spear, to just kind of keep poking you in the head.
Yeah.
Which you didn't like very much.
No, not very much.
No.
But you did finally manage to use your counterspell and stop one of them.
I did. I was super proud.
Because you've been wanting to counterspell something for ages, and it just everything that looked like a spell wasn't actually a spell.
I mean, like when we were fighting the dragon, because that was the session that we'd leveled up, and I'd got counterspell, and it was like the dragon's doing this, and I slam my hands down and go counterspell, and Dromat's like, that's not a spell, and then I'd be like, oh, fuck, and like every time it wasn't a spell.
But yeah, we gradually whittle them down, and eventually it kind of just boiled. I think it.
She was fucking fearsome.
Yeah,
though. She was vicious.
Taking her down was pretty tough because she's a pretty beefy.
Because she got you down to quite low health.
She got me down to quite low health.
Yeah.
But fortunately, Talus and I basically were just constantly kind of rotating so that she would always be being flanked by us.
Yeah, basically, you just kept flanking her, and I remember I stood up. And with my mind, my telepathy, I'm just like, hey, if you lay down your weapons now and come quietly, we won't harm you. And the fucking dick of an orc, she turns around and she just fucking smiles at me, and I'm like, right.
Got to kill her then.
Because I was like, no, guys, we really need to take her alive. I don't want to take her down, we don't know her reasons and all that. And then the moment that happens, Nathan was just like, kill her.
I'm glad that it took...
Fucking kill her!
It took a while, but finally everyone agreed with me because I was saying from the
You were
off...
getting fucking chunks torn out of you. Like,
yeah, I was sitting there going...
Can we kill her, please?
Because I'm the one that sits there and takes all of the frontline damage. I'm like, no, we just need to kill her. Let's just kill her.
I'm glad we all came around at the end, to the same conclusion at the end.
And then what was it? Because as she was going down, like we finally took her down.
Yeah. Okay. So I didn't have any spell slots left, so I wanted to use Vicious Mockery, so I just started shouting abuse at her.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, how fuck, you are so fucking rude, and that's literally as she's dying, and then with her last fucking ounce of energy, her last fucking act in this life was looking at Nathan dead in the eyes and grinning like a fucking arsehole. It was... Oh, God. I was so fucking angry. It was very good, Drummer Matt. That was fucking fantastic.
And yes, very good, because none of this was planned. You basically came up with the whole thing on the fly again.
Yeah, I wanted to challenge myself a bit. So I was like, I've planned out a few potential shops you might go to and a few bits around town and things. But I hadn't really... I've planned the parties the next bit of the story. Spoilers, but it is. I'm fairly sure you've worked that out.
We are aware, don't worry.
But I was like, you know what, I'll just give you freedom of the town for a week and see if you want to skip forward, fine. If you don't, we'll see what happens. And then he said he wants to go to a wanted board. I was like, right, okay, let's find a monster table and just roll to see what the wanted thing might be. And then based off the fact that it said orcs, I was like, okay, what would orcs be? Okay, it's probably just a band, like a war boss or something, like a small band of orcs that have been doing something. And then sort of quickly drew maps on the fly, basically.
No, it was super rad, dude.
I won't often do it like that because it's a little bit stressful, but I just wanted to see if I could. Worst case, you go off path too far again.
Mm.
Yeah, the one thing that I will also add, just because it's something that is foreshadowing something, probably.
Yeah, I was I was talking to you after the fight, and you're really nasty with me.
Yeah, because you wanted to borrow an axe to cut the orc's head off, so we had proof of bringing it back.
And Johnny got really mad at me.
He wasn't mad at you. He was just funny with you.
No, he's really nasty
about borrowing an axe.
He's let me borrow an axe before. I don't see the big problem.
Yeah, it's almost like there's something else going off.
Yeah, probably.
That Johnny himself doesn't quite understand. So he's...
Pon far!
He's not going through the pond far, no.
He's going through the pond far. He wants to bite Nathan. He's being a dirty boy.
Look, I don't know. You just got to come back with him to his sacred mountain.
I am not going to Johnny's sacred mountain.
And there'll be this whole ceremony.
No!
And then Johnny will lay down with Nathan.
No, he won't.
On an owlbear skin rug.
No.
In front of a blazing fire.
Stop writing fan fiction for our group. It's weird.
They will make sweet, passionate, hairy love.
Oh God, that's all I can see. I will pluck out my own.
I was fine with that until you said hairy.
I wasn't, because that is not okay.
Anyway, this has gone on for long enough. Matthew, questions this week.
No, there's
questions.
one thing.
What?
No, you've ruined it now.
No, what's the last thing?
No, I just remembered that we were looking at the camp afterwards, and I went up to the main camp with Talus, and there was a spit roasting pig. And I went, I'm going to roll to see if I can find ham. And I rolled a 1 and could not find ham.
Even though there was a spit roasted pig right in front of you.
2 feet in front of me, and I was just like, I don't know. What's a pig?
I think you looking for ham was actually based on someone mishearing what you originally said. I can't remember what it was, and you went, okay, sure, I'll look for ham.
And then I fucking critically failed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I think Talus just about passed her perception for ham.
I think we did steal the spit roast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We put it into the hole.
In the hole. It went in the hole.
In the hole. Everything goes in the hole.
Everything goes in the hole.
Everything goes in the hole. The head went in the hole.
The head went in the hole.
The head went in the hole.
So anyway, questions, yes.
Yes,
Matthew.
questions.
Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 3 people. No, 4 people's worth of things. Some of them aren't questions, but I'll just go through them quickly, as usual.
Okay, guys, what you should do if you want to ask us a question, which you should do because it makes us feel nice and we like to answer your questions, is email. What's that email?
What's the email?
Yeah.
The email is onlydrummermat@snipeandwib@gmail.com.
Yeah. You heard it here first, folks. Now get sending us asks. Like, ask us maybe what our favourite ice cream flavour might be. Or maybe what
you
yours
just
is.
want to talk about ice cream.
Look, we've got some Magnums in the fridge. You just want to have one?
Yeah, I really fucking do.
Okay, right. You can have one once we're done. We'll answer these questions, then you can have a Magnum.
Oh.
Okay, so first up, Shanus, who sent us the glorious picture of the posing elf.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Eldar, last time.
Elfdar.
Confirmed that it was in fact them, and they were quite drunk at the time.
Good.
So that's good to know.
Very, very suave.
They also sent a D&D story, which I'll forward on to you guys if you want to have a read. I won't read it on the podcast because it's quite long, but
yeah, sure,
the more D&D stories that I get sent, the more things I can steal from. So, I mean, the more stories I can get inspiration from.
That's literally what being a DM is getting inspiration.
And they did also, there was a question attached as well, favourite class and race in D&D, but I think we've answered a very similar question.
Yeah, and I've only ever played Barbarian and Dwarf, so I couldn't
Warlock
answer.
is the best, though. It's just the best class. It's just facts, okay?
Yeah, I guess we haven't played enough of them to feel like we have a good educated answer of it.
Mm.
I'd always go rogue, and I really enjoyed playing my rogue.
You play rogue in like everything.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, next up we've got Vic's
Vapor Rub
emailed in. Not Vapor Rub.
I like Vic, who has emailed in way more than I like Vic's Vapor Rub.
Cool.
Good.
Yeah.
They were the one who asked the 30k versus 40k question that we stumbled over
cool.
for a
Are they
bit.
clarifying?
But eventually we answered their question in one way or another. Eventually, so.
I like that. Eventually, you answered my question.
So no, we interpreted their question right when we did end up answering it.
Okay. Cool.
What else did they say? They said they were sorry to hear about. We mentioned the toxic femmarine comments that you got.
Yeah.
Sorry to hear that.
Thank you.
Oh, it's
just there's that small section of people who are just jerks and they don't like anything and they just want to be nasty.
Yeah, they were saying that sometimes to the point where they occasionally hate identifying as a fan of something because that fandom is known for being, or can be known for being just a bit awful.
Rick and Morty. Sorry, weird cough I have there.
And we had a bit of a chat, and I was like, we just basically came to the conclusion that, if people could just be nice to people, it'd be quite
really.
good.
Yeah, really. But I mean, that's the thing. It's like, I don't... It is definitely a very shouty and annoying subsection. Like, it's like maybe 10%.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's never a high percentage of people.
That's the thing. It's not the high percentage. These, like if I turn around and go, fucking, these people doing that, I'm not throwing all tabletop gamers under the bus. No one is. It's just, they always seem more than they are because they're very loud, shouty, and irritating. Yeah.
But also, that doesn't mean that when it happens, you should not acknowledge it and not try and combat it, because just because it's a minority doesn't mean it still doesn't vastly affect people.
Yeah.
Especially if it is a woman or someone trying to play the game and then they encounter this toxicity. It's honestly, not conducive to having more people play the game. So don't just accept it. Like, it does need to be combated,
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's why I mock them on Twitter and things. That's why I do confront it and try and talk about like where they're coming from, because I feel it's a useful thing to.
No, I think it really is. It really
talk about.
Because moving on.
Moving on.
Moving on. Another point they said was you asked Snipe. You asked why people like the long rambling podcasts, and they actually credit to them in brackets after what you meant last time. They've said in brackets episode 46, 2 hours 17 minutes 10 seconds. So. They've actually that's quite nice.
We are trying desperately to make these shorter, and I'm saying
they are not.
And our recording is already over 2 hours now. There's a waffling on the start of that of us preparing.
It's about 17 minutes dead air.
So it should hopefully be under 2 hours, this one, because fucking hell do they take a long time to edit, and I don't want to have to keep doing that, especially this week while we've got so much fucking shit going on.
Honey, it's so
but to make you feel better, they said they enjoy that, or personally they enjoy it anyway, because it's nice to hear fellow people our approximate ages express the same level of enthusiasm / cynicism talking about related interests.
I'm glad. That does make me feel fuzzy.
And speaking as like they're not from Europe, so they're saying hearing someone on the other side of the world still thinking relatively similar things makes people feel grounded and normal.
I'm glad.
Yeah,
thank you.
We had quite a nice email. I was just like, I was like, this is why I like getting emails, because it's just like it's just quite nice.
Yeah, no, that's lovely. Thank you very much for that. Thank you. I'm glad to know that this waffling is constructive to people. This is not that. I am glad that these podcasts are not a net negative to the world, which is what you always worry about.
Yeah.
That you are somehow taking the majesty of the world and reducing it by creating. That's the worry of an artist in any format.
Jesus, that got real.
Finally, just moving on quickly. Finally, they did have a question. So this goes back to D&D now, but how would we deal with a TPK if that happened in our sessions?
I'd
cry.
I'd probably cry.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be angry at anyone. I'd just be sad because I want to win, and you get really attached to your characters.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I wouldn't ever set up something where it's like, you guys, you're walking down and your corridor, and for some reason you forget to do a trap check or something, and then I don't know, you fall down an infinite hole into the abyss. I wouldn't want to punish you for one thing like that. But at the same time, I don't want to make it so a TPK isn't possible. Like, it's always possible.
Yeah, well, I mean, we very nearly did with the dragon.
Exactly, that was very close.
I mean, to be fair, it's fine because we got out of it by the skin of our fucking teeth. And now it's an awesome story. We can all feel like... we can laugh about it now, but at the time it was so unbearably tense.
Yeah, the ideal thing is to push you as far as you can, but without going over that edge, which is...
the DM's job is not to kill the players, it's to give them a challenge to overcome.
Yeah. But, like, if it did look like it was happening, like, I'm not going to fudge dice or anything like that just so it doesn't happen. Yeah. Like, if it does happen, I'll feel bad about it.
We'll all feel bad.
I'm not going to be like, but actually that was all a dream, or, or, like, if a TPK happened, unless there's a particularly damn good reason why you wouldn't all die, like, they happen. I don't know, I can't even think how that would be, but I'm sure there's a few, but, like... Unless there's something, like, really obvious that should happen. Like, if that happens, like, I'm sorry, but... It'll have to happen, and then we'll just we'll get over it, and we'll have a bit of a beer together or whatever. We'll talk about what happened and why
it's like low key mourning.
Yeah,
that's what we'd have to do, like a very low key mourn.
It's like, for me, like, because I assume, like, if there's a TPK, do you just stop the story that's going off, or do you bring new people into it?
You can bring new people. I think it's a very kind of like down to what do you want.
Yeah, I guess it depends on where the story.
Yeah, it depends. Like if you all guys did it in the next session or two for whatever reason,
that party's going to go really tits up.
Nothing's going to happen at the party. It'll be fine.
You're going to poison the wine, and Nathan's going to be immune because he's just constantly drinking poison anyway. Maybe. And then the chandelier's going to fall on it.
Matt's sitting there making notes.
He's like, ha ha ha.
Oh, that's a good idea.
I've already got acid underlined.
Acid? Is it double underlined?
No, just...
Because if he drinks acid, to be fair, I'm pretty sure his stomach lining is that he would somehow manage to extract like some kind of like alcohol like from it.
But yeah, for me, like I'd look at like I'd be upset that if the story ended, but like if Johnny dies, to me, I like there'd be the obvious. Oh, it's sad I can't play this character I've been playing, but in a way, I'd also be kind of excited because then I'd get the opportunity to make a new character.
Yeah.
See,
and how I do it story wise, if it happens soonish, like before Snipe, you're wanting to take over as DMing, or before you're able to, or whatever. Like, you could start. You start a new set of characters, but then the story ideas that I've got for this, like if it's set in the same setting and you're in the same town. And it's a smaller town, so like if you start at a higher start at a similar level to what you are now, that you've just all come into town for whatever reason, chances are people are going to start asking you for help because you're some of the most powerful people in the town. So then the story would kind of continue, and you kind of carry on that way. If this story ends and you're all there.
Yeah,
if you don't,
I'd be really sad because I'm coming from like a heavy RP background anyway.
Well, this is why I'm more nervous for you. Because
this is the thing. This is like a 4-year-old character.
Yeah, and
I have put so much time and energy into this guy, and just like. But the thing is, like, if he dies in D&D, so I was talking to Plasma, one of our mods and one of our dear friends, because I roleplay with him on WoW, and I RP with him using Nathan. Drummer Matt, you might know his character Jarek. Yep. They're like, yeah, and. He said to me, he was like, well, if Nathan does die, it's okay, because it's just in D&D that his, like,
I don't know, are you playing it as a separate, like, so either he's a D&D character and he's your WoW character, and they're separate?
I'm kind of like in my WoW role-playing, it's like, oh yeah, I did this one time, so it's just something for my character to say.
Yeah, okay.
But, like, thing is, if Nathan dies in D&D, I'm not gonna, like, delete my WoW character. Jesus, I'm not Iron Manning this fucking shit, no. But it will be sad because I really love role playing with him in the D&D kind of setting and like the system, using that system. So I would be really upset because it's like it'll be sad. But I mean, it's not like I have to like just suddenly never role play with him or write a story about him ever again.
Yeah.
So, but I would be quite upset though. Yeah.
But yeah, we should probably try and answer these questions a little bit more succinctly. So
just...
let's move on to the next one.
Yeah.
The next two, we've got 2 more people, but one of them's not a question and one of them's quite short. So just short ones to end.
Well, you could probably ask us maybe like what's our favourite ice cream flavour. If you were short on questions.
Look, we're going to get so many emails asking that.
No, we're not. We're going to be like, okay, so what's your favourite thing to put on hot dogs?
Okay, now, Snipe, I'm just going to say this.
Yes, dear.
The less you talk about ice cream, the quicker that the podcast ends and you can go and eat ice cream.
That sounds pretty fake, but okay.
Okay. So ask the question, Matthew, please.
Well, the first one isn't a question. The Incredible Hibby emailed us, and, well, I guess it is a question, but they're suggesting that Greg the Spider should be made the official mascot for the podcast. What do we think about that? I
like it. I love Greg the Spider. I don't know where he's gone. I think he's fucked off to Magaluf. Isn't it? Yeah, probably.
Yeah, all right.
I like that idea of Greg the Spider.
And then
being the mascot.
They sent pictures of not their dog because they don't have a dog, but they do have a ferret.
Good.
That's like a noodle dog.
It's a very long dog.
Very long dog.
So I'll send them. What I'm going to say actually is that I'll send them to you now, and you can. They're on your way now at some point via my internet connection. But what I will say is actually, if people do want us to keep sending pictures of dogs, I'm entirely for it. But if you mention that you don't mind them being shared publicly, I can put them on my Twitter or something, so then other people who are listening can also admire them.
That's a really good idea.
Rather than just us talking about pictures of dogs so that no one else can see.
Yeah.
So I won't do it with any that have been sent so far because they haven't said we can or whatever. Then that's fine.
Oh, there's this. Oh, look at that cute little ferret.
In the future, if you say if you don't say anything, I'll assume you don't want it. But if you explicitly say I don't mind these being shared, I'll put them up on my Twitter and then.
And what are they gonna? What's your Twitter handle?
I think it's just Drumblebee.
@Drumblebee.
I think. I don't know. I can't remember. I don't use it that often.
Great. You're so fucking good at social media. Jesus.
But yes, the ferret is adorable.
The ferret is so cute. That is the cutest little panda face. It's like panda raccoon face. It's so cute. I love them. Did they say what? What the ferret's name is?
I didn't write it down. I'm just checking now because I feel like they might have done, but.
And yes, your Twitter handle is Drumblebee. Yes.
@Drumblebee. That's @DRUMBLEBEE.
Excellent.
Drumblebee.
The ferret is called Heidi.
Heidi, I love Heidi. Heidi is amazing.
It is
She's a very sweet girl.
Last up, we have Walker Rollins sent us more pictures of dogs. They've sent us pictures of dogs before, of their dogs, and now they've sent pictures of their grand's dogs.
Yes. I bet there's some good dogs.
Good.
So these dogs are Zeus and Missy. They're on their way over to you. You'll see them eventually. While they're going, their question quickly was, they've noticed that you're aware of the miracle of sound.
Yes.
Yes.
We are.
I am not, but apparently you've mentioned some lyrics of theirs in the past as well.
I will link you to his YouTube page. He is so fucking cool. Really good.
I did have a quick look into what it was because I was like, I've noticed you're aware of this, and I was like, I don't know what that is, so I'll just Google it.
He's got like a bunch of albums on Spotify as well. So.
Okay, so their question was quickly just, do you have any favourite songs of theirs? Theirs is currently a song called "Place in Nature," one of the newer ones.
Okay, cool. I haven't had a chance to listen. One of my favourites, oh shit, I can't remember what it was.
Mine is it Fire's Fade, the Dark Souls 2 song?
Far. I'm pretty sure.
Fire's Far is, because there's a couple that have similar names, but it's the Dark Souls 2 song he did. That's my favourite one of his.
There's one off that metal album he did, Get Your Metal On, I think. That was pretty fucking cool. That was good. I like it when he can get angry and because he's got a good throaty, aggressive kind of voice. Yeah. But he's also got that annoying kind of voice where he can do like kind of sweet singing as well. Wake the White Wolf is obviously fucking perfection. The metal version, of course.
Yeah, that's good.
That's good. Oh, I like that. That's beautiful. And there's that other one I can't remember. Fuck. But yeah, that's off the top of my head. Those two, they're pretty fucking rad.
His Bioshock ones are pretty good too, especially because they have little motifs that run through a couple of them that make me quite happy to have little musical motifs in multiple songs, which is quite fun. But you should listen to him, Matt. I think you'd quite like quite a few of his songs.
He's pretty fucking rad.
Will do. And that's it for our emails.
Okay, cool. So go and listen to Miracle of Sound and at him and tell him that his hair is fantastic, but his music is life-changing.
Also, you'll know exactly how much, like, one of us, whoever does it, has succeeded or failed in editing this down if it is under 2 hours. I'm hoping this will be under 2 hours, because fucking hell!
I reckon it might just be.
So, thank you very much for listening. I've been Snipe, that's been Wib, and that's been Drummer Matt. And hopefully this was under 2 hours.
Hope.
Everyone take care now. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.